Alright, so it's about time that Code decides to make his move, and Code desperately needs his limiters to be taken off because as it stands right now, Code without his limiters is still running the risk of being killed by Kawaki or Naruto and Sasuke or any combination of those three, right? And he needs his limiters taken off, but the only option is to confront Amado and get Amado to take him off for him. Basically, Amado is the only person that can take Code's limiters off, and currently Amado is in the Hidden Leaf Village tucked away safely. In chapter 67, it kind of seemed like Code may have potentially done something to Shikamaru to where he can access the village, maybe like a claw mark somewhere or something similar to that, but it seems like Code has a plan to retrieve Amado in order to get his limiters taken off. Now, I think that Code is going to sneak through Shikamaru or something along those lines and be able to get access to Amado, right? And based on what we know about Ada being able to see everything that's going on, right? I think that once Ada sort of confirms that, hey, maybe Shikamaru and Amado are alone, then Code would be able to sneak into the Leaf Village and retrieve Amado and get out of there as soon as possible, right? Now, I obviously don't think that this is going to go according to plan or is going to go as straightforward as, Code may think, because, sneaking into the Hidden Leaf Village and sneaking out as soon as possible is something that's going to be very difficult to do, especially with Amado being around, right? Because, we know Amado has things in place that way he can protect himself, right? Amado is just not going to sit around idle and let himself get captured that easily. I don't think that Amado would let Code take him without some sort of resistance, right? Now, kind of what I'm getting at that is either Amado has some sort of scientific ninja tool to combat Code, or even he has this new weapon that hasn't been talked about in a little while, and that is Amado Cyborg. Now, a couple of chapters ago, there was talks about Amado creating the Cyborg for a quote-unquote ally for the Leaf, and pretty much what the Cyborg's supposed to do is supposed to help out the Leaf Village from any future attacks and things like that, and it's supposed to be on the Hidden Leaf Village's side. I'm not sure if I technically believe that as of now, but in this scenario, if Code invades the Leaf Village and Amado's there, then I can definitely see that Cyborg being used to defend Amado and, fight off Code potentially. And what's very interesting about the Cyborg is it's going to be based off an old Leaf ninja. So I'm not exactly sure who that's going to be. No, it could be anybody, to be honest. And I think that with Amado's capabilities, he'll still be able to produce an extremely strong cyborg to defend himself. So I think that's going to be of a surprise to Ada and Code, right? Because I don't think Ada can necessarily see what's inside there or what they're potentially doing, because Ada hasn't even really mentioned that, hey, Amado is, doing this thing, right? He's building the cyborg, right? You would think that Ada working with Code and, Ada being able to see everything would kind of be able to put two and two together and say, hey, Amado's working on this another cyborg that's going to be this strong or whatever, and, listen to those conversations and kind of, report back to Code. But, Ada hasn't really done any of that and hasn't really helped out Code too much, right? Part of me wants to believe that Ada doesn't really like Code and is just using Code for her own gain right now, which kind of makes sense, right? And I could see Ada just using Code for what she needs and then throwing him away later. She's been kind of keeping secrets from Code, in terms of like what she can actually do, like her fighting abilities, right? And she's kind of making it seem like she doesn't have anything abilities besides the clairvoyance, which I'm not sure if I exactly believe that one either, right? So I just think that Ada is being a little cautious around Code and really just trying to limit the amount of information that he knows. And at the same time, Amado is sort of limiting the amount of information that he's giving the Hidden Leaf Village, right? Because he has not said a single word about Ada and Damon, and I'm not sure if Amado knows that Ada and Damon have reawakened, but there has been nothing said about these two, and Amado hasn't really mentioned it at all, right? Because the whole thing behind Ada is that Ada was told to be shut down and stored away in some sort of facility or destroyed or whatever the case may be. And it just doesn't make sense to me how you turn something off, but somehow Ada was able to still seduce Boro, and then Boro managed to keep her alive somehow. That doesn't make sense to me, because if you turn something off, how's it still technically on, right? So I feel like there's some inconsistencies with the little story there regarding Ada. So I do think that Amado is potentially hiding something regarding that, but I'm not exactly sure to what it is. Some people think that Ada might potentially be Amado's daughter, which is a feasible theory, but you know, whatever the case may be, he's seeing like he's kind of retaining information about those two. But yeah, around this time when Code decides to invade is when we can finally get to see the cyborg potentially get introduced and finally kind of see just how strong this guy is, right? You know, this cyborg might even be a potential counter to Damon, right? And we've been talking about what kind of counters can go for Damon, right? Because anything that you sort of throw at him kind of gets reflected. So it's kind of hard to fight Damon in that sense. I mean, maybe like a Genjutsu would be something that could help, but not exactly sure. That might be a possible option to sort of counter Damon. But, you know, maybe Amado has something to counter his own creation, right? Considering that he worked on these cyborgs and whatnot, I mean, I would assume that he has something to help out with that, right? And knowing Amado, he kind of has like these countermeasures for his cyborgs, right? I mean, he had an off switch for Delta, which, you know, I think that he has something implemented into these other cyborgs to where he can sort of kind of turn them off or control them or whatnot, but we have only seen Delta be turned off so far, so I'm not sure if he implemented that into these other cyborgs, so we kind of have to like wait and see if he does anything regarding that. But yeah, I do think that if confronted by Ada or Damon, I think that Amado would be able to handle that quite swiftly, because you don't create something that powerful and not have a way to shut it down, right? Amado might even be able to counteract Ada's abilities, or just might be immune to it if he's potentially her father or something along those lines. So yeah, I do think that Code is getting ready to make his plans to take Amado, but these plans are possibly going to backfire heavy, just because we know that Amado is this really smart genius that's always 3 steps ahead of everybody. And to think that Amado would get easily taken by Code is not something that I believe would happen. And if this cyborg is introduced and gets the chance to fight, this cyborg might even take out Code, who knows? Because man, these cyborgs are crazy strong, and Amado's been putting in some work so far with the ones he's created, so that is a real possibility for one of these cyborgs to take out Code. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about it. Do you think that we're gonna see this new cyborg when Code decides to invade? And what do you sort of think that Code's plan is to retrieve Amado? Also, what do you think about the whole Damon and Amado relationship? Do you think that Amado is potentially her father or somehow related to her or something along those lines? Anyways, hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and join the Discord. And I will see you guys later. Peace. So